Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I have learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. I don't know how well this video is going to go because my neighbor dog, do you hear him outside? Oh! He's going crazy. He's going crazy. And I just took little Boo Radley outside, and little Boo Radley was like just running all over the place. I was like trying to keep him from him. And I was like, no, Boo. Boo's like running over here. Boo's running over there. It makes me so happy that Boo is almost, okay, his birthday's in September. So September, October, November, December. He's 14 and a half years old, and he's still running around like he's a puppy dog, and it makes me so happy. So anyway, it is a beautiful day in Indianapolis. I think it's like mid-50s. Very sunny outside. Gonna take my walk here in a little bit after I get done vlogging. And just filmed a video for my drama channel video, and my husband is very, very sick. He just keeps on getting worse and worse and worse, and so he was up for a while watching TV, ate a little bit of lunch, and he's like, I'm going back to bed. He's like, I feel worse than I did when I got up. So I thought I was getting sick, but I don't think that I am. So I was like, okay, well, I'll sit out here and I'll film a couple videos. So while I'm waiting for my drama video to render, I thought, why not make a Peterisms video and get into some meditations today? So let's get into some meditations. Let me pull you in a little bit closer here so I can lean back and be relaxed while we're reading and talking about the meditations. Are you guys ready? Okay, so it is March 2nd. Let's read from the language of letting go and see what it has to say to us today. These are my new favorite reading glasses, by the way, these blue ones. I don't know why. They just like fit so comfortably on my head. I don't love, they're kind of dirty. I need to clean them off. Oh, my cloth is inside to clean them because I haven't been sitting out here, but they're a little bit dirty right now. So anyway, but I don't love the way that they look necessarily, but because they're very, very blue, if you can see. But I love how they sit on me. I love how they sit on my I love how they feel. Is how anyway, okay, March 2nd. Let's get into this, shall we? March 2nd. So let's see what the feelings on the job. Let's go back and look at some of these other meditations and see what some of the other meditations are from February. Letting go of denial. We did that one. You are lovable. People pleasers, did that one. Recognizing feelings, accepting imperfection. Solving problems, strength. Let's talk about living in the present. This is a good one. There's two in here that I like. This is from February 21st. Living in the present. The present moment is all we have. Yes, we have plans and goals, a vision for tomorrow, but now is the only time we possess. And it is enough. We can clear our mind of the residue of yesterday. We can clear our mind of fears of tomorrow. We can be present now. We can make ourselves available to this moment, this day. It is by being fully present now that we reach the fullness of tomorrow. Have no fear, child, a voice whispers. Have no regrets. Relinquish your resentments. Let me take your pain. All you have is the present moment. Be still, be here, trust. All you have is now, it is enough. Today I will affirm that all is well around me when all is well within. And the reason that I wanted to read this meditation, let me get to the next one. The reason why I wanted to read that meditation is because that is my main goal for 2024, is to stay in the present moment and enjoy the present moment and really live in the now. And I am somebody that really, really struggles with that, you know. I think if you watch any of my channels, but mostly my vlog, you know that I'm constantly talking about the past and things that happened in the past and things like that. And you know, I don't really know why that is. I don't know if, you know, that's because I'm an only child and I don't really have, you know, a lot of people from my past to relive that with. I don't know if it's because, although my cousin's an only child too, my cousin Caroline, and she's not really like that. You know, there were times when we would, I mean, and still to this day, we'll like tell stories from the past and stuff like that, but she's not somebody that really loves to be like, oh, do you remember when this happened or that happened or whatever. I mean, every once in a while we'll tell stories and whatever, but that's not a lot of what we do. I'm somebody that loves to like look to the past to know who we are now, remembering times from the past and whatever. And the thing is that it's not just because like these people are gone in my life, like my mom's gone or my aunt and uncle and whatever today, you know. I've been like that my entire life. Like, you know, like when I was in high school, I was looking back on my life and things that had happened and things like that. So I've always been like that. You know, and then there was a long period of time where I was very, very worried about the future and things that were going to happen in the future. And a lot of my OCD actually came out of that, you know, years and years and years ago. And I mean, I've had OCD for years, but a lot of it came out of fear of what was coming in the future. And, you know, I can remember just being worried about just really random things. Anything from, like, getting sick to, like, oh, taxes are due. When am I going to get them done? I think that's something we all relate to around this time of year. To, you know, like, some trip that we were going to go on, or, you know, whatever. Like, am I going to get everything ready in time? Which is, you know, I always joke about this, like, when I'm in meetings, and, you know, people will bring up, like, I'm so worried about going on this trip to, you know, Cancun, because there's gonna be people drinking on the beach. I'm like, as people in recovery, we're the only people that can, like, you know, this is true. If you're in recovery, you'll know what I'm talking about. That we can take, like, a trip to Cancun, Mexico, this beautiful, wonderful trip, and we can look at, like, the negatives in there. It's gonna be so hard not to drink on the beach, you know, and stuff like that. But, you know, I would worry about these things that were inconsequential. And then my mom just out of nowhere got sick, you know. Then she was in the hospital, then she got out of the hospital, and then it was just, I think it was on a Tuesday, it was just like a random day of the week that my mom, you know, my dad called me and said, you know, your aunt called and your mom is, like, you know, at home unconscious and she can't whatever, and so they, like, rushed her to the hospital and whatever. And it just came out of nowhere, you know. I mean, I could have had all the fear in the world, but that just happened on a random day. Like, I always say, the things you least expect are the things that happen just out of nowhere in the middle of a Tuesday afternoon. And there's been so many things like that that have happened to me, you know. Like, I think most profound and most pivotal that's affected my life the deepest is the accident, you know, that I could never have foreseen it happening or coming, and it just, you know, that day, and profoundly has changed my life and forever will have changed my life, you know, in the lives of other people. And so I think for me, what I learned through situations like that, Tucker passing away, you know, like, he was sick, but not from what I was so worried he was going to die of heart disease. And then we found out, you know, that he had this problem of, like, this bleeding behind his spleen or whatever. It just kind of came out of nowhere, like, over the course of, like, 2 or 3 days. And, you know, I could have worried all I wanted to worry about the heart disease, but that's not what, you know, Tucker passed away from. And it's like all these things I've ever focused on in my life, you know, it's like my old sponsor used to say to me, like, 99% of the things that you worry about never even happen. And I've spent a lot of my life being worried about things that never even happen. And the things that I don't worry about randomly happen in the middle of just come out of nowhere that, like, affect me the most, you know. My aunt, the day that she passed away, she was getting out of the hospital. They said that she was great. They moved her into hospice that day. And her hospice was supposed to be a long-term hospice. It wasn't supposed to be, like, she was going to go home and, like, be gone in a week. She got home. They got her checked into hospice. She died that afternoon. And a lot of people have said, you know, later they told my cousin that like, the hospice people told my cousin that that's a lot of times what happens to people is they just want to get home and be in their own home. And once she was in her, you know, her pajamas, her nightgown, and her robe, and she was in bed, and she was in where she loved to be and read, looking out over the lake and stuff like that, that she was ready to go. And that's when she passed away. I had not expected it that day. You know, a lot of the things, good and bad. I mean, I've had a lot of great things that have happened in my life that I never expected to happen that day. And I'm like, oh my God, like, you know, like, this is so amazing that this happened this day. But they aren't things that I planned out or I predicted or I feared or I worried about or I got excited about, you know? They were things that just kind of came out of nowhere. And what I realized was, and this has really helped me a lot with my OCD as well, is that I have very little control over the things that happen in the world. You know, it's like the poster that you would see when you're growing up as a kid that says something like, life is, you know, 20% or of what happens to us and 80% how we respond to it. And I think that, or our attitude towards it. And I think that's so true, you know? I can't control the things that happen to me necessarily. Some of them I can, but not all of them. But I can definitely control my response to it or my reaction. Am I reactionary or am I responsive, or how do I handle it? How do I apply it to my life? What do I learn from it and things like that? And that's what I've learned over my life, right? So for me to live constantly, you know, in memories of the past or fear of the future is not experiencing today. And, you know, it's like, we know the saying, you know, it's like in recovery we say 1 foot in yesterday and 1 foot in tomorrow, and we shit all over today. But, like, that saying's been around forever in a million different ways, you know. And what is it? Yesterday is forgotten and tomorrow isn't here and today is a gift or whatever. Today is the present, or so the present is a gift or whatever they say. You know, all those things, but it's true, you know? It's like, you know, this video has been going on now for 10 minutes and 5 seconds, and, you know, a minute ago, it's already in the past. It's gone. There's nothing I can do about that minute ago, right? It's already gone. And so I am really, really trying to live in the present moment and enjoy each moment. And for me, one of the tricks to that has really had to have been, I've had to, like, slow things down, right? Like, really enjoy, like at night, one of the things I've been doing, I just ordered a bunch of candles last night because I've been going through candles like crazy. Because I didn't order or buy a lot for a while. I bought a few here on Amazon, a few there and whatever. But I've been, you know, when it was nice out here, I've been using them out here, and I've been using them inside. I've been using candles a lot because the whole process of going around at night and lighting candles so I can watch my shows, you know, filling the Keurig tank so I can make like a London fog, tea, coffee, things like that, you know, and just getting my area situated with a little blanket so I can watch my shows at night. Like, I take such pleasure in that, and it keeps me in the moment, you know? Coming out here late at night and just sitting for a few minutes and being with the universe and doing my inventory at the end of my day and doing my prayers and my meditations and my gratitude list really keeps me present in the moment of that day. Doing inventory on just the last 24 hours keeps me very present in just looking at the last 24 hours, you know, and just looking at all of the things that have happened. Then if I'm doing inventory on just when I woke up today to when I went to sleep today, I'm not looking at things that happened 3 days ago. I'm staying focused in today. So now I have all these tricks, you know. I've said for years that life is like, you know, in recovery we say a design for living, but it's also about like having a toolbox of these tools you use. Tools for me on staying in the present, like, it's not just something that happens. I wish it did. I wish tomorrow I wake up and I just be able to do it. No, it's work I have to do to learn to live in the present and to stay in the present moment. And I have these tools I have to do. And one of them, like doing inventory, is not to just take a look at how I behaved that day or how I acted or how I interacted with people. It's also to help me stay focused on just that day. It's a selfish tool that I use in my toolbox, you know? Doing a gratitude list about things I'm grateful for just that day keeps me focused on just that day. You know, it keeps me out of fear of the future and pain of the past or memories of the past and things like that. And so, or romanticizing the past and saying, well, the past was better than the present and things like that. And so it keeps me focused on all that. And those are things that I have to do. Those are little tricks of the trade that I have to do, you know, and I'll probably forever do them. And that's okay, you know. I'm forever grateful for that. But this, like, staying in the present thing is so hard for me. I don't know why. You know, like, my mind spins. For years, like, one of the things I've really learned to do is not, I mean, I still do it from time to time, but, like, not script conversations, you know, that, do you ever have conversations that you have to have, you know, and so you're like, okay, this is how it's going to go, and then I'm going to say this, and they're going to say that, and, you know, like, before you know it, you have the whole conversation scripted out in your head, and then when you have it, it doesn't go that way at all. And it's like, why did I spend all that time? Or you sit there and you get so worried, you know, like, as somebody with social anxiety, like, even something good, right, like, Alex said to me today, he said, Jennifer Lopez is coming to Indianapolis. Do you want to go? And I said, I don't know, let me think about it. Well, one of the things that my husband has asked me is that when he asks me to do something, like, let him know then, because he's going to buy tickets then, right? Like, he's not going to, like, wait a month. And he goes, no, like, I need to know, like, do you want to go or not? And I go, yes, I'll go. Because, see, in my head, I'm like, well, what day is it on? Am I going to have something else to go to? Who else is going? Do I really want to go to Jennifer Lopez? Do I really want to go out there to a concert? Do I really care? I play all that out in my head. So today I was just like, because I'm living in the moment, right, and trying to be spontaneous, I was like, yeah, sure, I would love to go, because I would love to go see Jennifer Lopez in concert, you know, and I don't want to miss that opportunity. And so I was like, yeah, sure, we'll go. And so, he was like, it'll be fun. He was like, yeah, I'm real excited about it. So, but, like, I know that sounds silly to a lot of people, but that's where, like, my social anxiety comes in, and I play out, like, every aspect of it, right? Now, I've worked on that a lot, and I've gotten away from that a lot. I've gotten away from it to the point where I actually show up and do things now, but it still goes on in my head, you know? And so I have to work through that. Staying present has really, really helped my social anxiety a lot. Because then when somebody calls me and they're like, do you want to go get a cup of coffee? Like, I don't sit there and go, well, should I or shouldn't I? Or is there a show I want? I mean, I go through all it. Who's going to be there? Is it going to just be us? Are there going to be 4 other people there? Do I like these people? Do they like me? I don't play through all. I'm just like, yeah, let's go. That's where I'm at today with it. I just worry about today, you know? And that's hard for me, right? Like, it's still a struggle for me. Probably will be for my whole entire life, but that's why my main goal this year has been to stay in the present. And it also really makes me enjoy each and every moment of what I'm doing and enjoy each and every moment of my life. And it really slows life down a lot, you know? Like, I was talking the other day about being so ready for nice weather and summer and stuff, but at the same time, it's like, I don't want to miss these days, even though they're cold, and I don't necessarily, I mean, today's weather is beautiful, but I don't want to be like, you know, like in the snow and the rain and whatever. Like, I try to, on those days, be like, okay, I'll watch something that feels very wintry and make a pot of coffee and a London fog, you know, tea, and read a book and whatever, and get in the mood. So I really enjoy that day for what that day is, and I think that's really what it is, you know, is getting up and being present for whatever that day brings, you know? And then it's not necessarily good days and bad days, it's just, even though I'll probably still refer to them as that in the future, but it's just days. They're just days, right? And each day brings with it a little bit of good, maybe some bad, maybe some just in between, you know? Maybe some days are better than others, I think we know that. Some days are worse than others, but it's all just, you know, like Janet Jackson, I almost said. Like Janis Joplin said, you know, it's all the same. She cussed in it, but she said it's all just the same day, you know? And to some degree it is, and it's like what you do with all of that, you know? Well, I want to live in the present moment. I want to be present, and I want to enjoy each and every little small, simple thing, like my dog running around in the yard, you know? And being so grateful that today, at 14 and a half years, he's healthy, he's running around, he acts like a puppy. That might not be the case tomorrow, but tomorrow I cannot borrow trouble. Because tomorrow's not even here yet, you know? We've got today, and today, Boo's doing pretty good. And I'm happy about that. So, I'm gonna go make some coffee and enjoy a little bit of coffee. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.